welcome. I hope that you are doing well. Thank you so much for joining me here today to talk about books. Today's book is somewhat different than other books that we have talked about. The book is Everything's Tuberculosis by John Green. It's a non-fiction book. It's exactly what the subtitle says, the history and persistence of our deadliest infection. The author, John Green, met Henry, a young tuberculosis patient, at a hospital in Sierra Leone. The book interweaves Henry's story with the scientific and societal history of tuberculosis. We learned that it is the world's oldest infectious disease, and that at one time it was romanticized into being a disease of a personality attuned to the loveliness of life. It was thought to heighten creativity and influenced beauty standards for women. When the causative agent, Mycobacterium tuberculosis, was identified, tuberculosis went from being considered a disease of superior intellect to being considered a disease of the lower classes. Tuberculosis has basically been eradicated in wealthier countries, but the best tools for diagnosing and treating tuberculosis are outpriced for poorer countries because of the inflated prices that pharmaceutical companies charge. Just to reiterate, this book is not a deep dive into the disease. It's more of an overview. If you're interested in learning more, the author provides suggested titles in the back in the further reading section. And while there are some disheartening aspects of the discussion of tuberculosis, this book is ultimately a story of hope. So what other books could you read that will give you information on the societal and historical implications of a topic? I'm going to start by suggesting Undefeated, Jim Thorpe and the Carlisle Indian School football team by Steve Sheinkin. Jim Thorpe was a Native American and an amazing athlete. He was born in 1887 and was forced to attend a residential school. The residential school system was designed to strip indigenous children of their culture and assimilate them into mainstream American culture. And these schools were run like the military. Students were awakened by bugle call early in the morning. Their morning classes were classes on reading and writing and other mainstream school topics. The afternoon classes were vocational training. Residential schools were not good to their students, who were often literally torn from their families. They traveled far distances to attend the schools, and they were often abused. Many students died in the schools. From this book, we learn more about the residential school system and the Carlisle Indian School football team. This was a team that played against all the best college teams and won. The title gives an indication of just how good they were. And Jim Thorpe was one of their best players. I'll also mention one other book by John Green, The Anthropocene Reviewed, which you can listen to as an audiobook or read as a print book. This book began as a podcast in which John Green would read essays that he had written, wherein he rated specific topics on a 5-star scale. This book contains short essays with topics ranging from velociraptors and Harvey to Auld Lang Syne to plague. I love the podcast and I love the book. I highly recommend them both. And there we are. I hope that you enjoyed this look at Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. In the August Reads video, I mentioned that I'm focusing my reading this month on either new releases or books that I've wanted to read for a while. Everything is Tuberculosis was newly released in March of 2025. This next month, I am going to focus on a book that I have wanted to read for a while, and let me go find one. All right, so this is a book that I've wanted to read since 2022, and it is Nettle and Bone by T. Kingfisher. So I will be back to talk about this book next week. Until then, I hope that you enjoy all that you do and all that you read. And thank you.